Hi Aquarius, thank you so much for your patience. This is your October general reading for 2017. So I picked the signs randomly through a hat. I threw them in a hat and I put my hand in there and just been pulling them randomly. So I'm really excited now to do Aquarius. I think I've kind of always been a fan of Aquariuses because of their amazingness. So I will first like to say thank you for coming to my channel, and this is my first channel. I've been doing readings for some time, and I've given a brief description in all the other videos. If you are a returning viewer and subscriber, thank you so much, and I've been appreciating all of the comments. I've only been on here a few days, and it's just been really great to do general readings and to tap into that collective energy. So I do use my intuition. I'm an empath, and you can find out more information in the About section. So I do use humor, and I'll just go ahead and get into it, and you can get an idea of how I go about readings. So as I'm shuffling, I will, and everything's been saged and Palo Santo'd. I know that this is a safe place. This is just a place where you can somehow be heard, seen, and communicated and acknowledged somehow. I think that's the beauty of divination, and with just the synchronicity of life is everything happens for a reason. For every action, there's an equal or opposite reaction. So, as above, so below. So that's kind of what's also coming up now for Aquarius. There is a sense of knowing that you've recently come into that you didn't really have to begin with over the years. Not to begin with, you've had it, but you've grown into that energy more so in the past few months is what I'm getting for some of you. So I'll have various options and situations that are communicated to me. I also work with the Akashic Records. I've been working more and more with that. I do meditations daily, and I've been doing yoga for years, and also meditation. So I started young. So yeah, I'll just throw bits of pieces of myself throughout here and there as they come up, and maybe it's simply just because through another person you hear something that you identify with. So that's what makes it easier to come and listen to somebody on a YouTube channel and see what that might relay to your life's journey, how your soul might be communicating to you, how your spirit might be guiding you. So I feel like there's a lot of, to begin with, Aquarius just always has this, it's like you guys are rare. Like when you meet Aquariuses, you're like, you're rare, because you guys are. Everyone is, but there's even more so just this rarity that I feel. And I think it's that deep understanding that you have about whatever happens, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's the third law of physics is very integral in Aquariuses, I feel. Integral in the way that they function. There will also be a romantic love reading. I'm going to try and punch those out well, hopefully, in the next couple days, and I'll do Aquarius first. I did a couple already. I wasn't sure if I was going to do romantic readings, and then I realized that it is an energy place where I can focus on Venus and get more info, I guess, for those that need more guidance in that part of their life. So hopefully this is finding you all in good hearts and good graces. And I think getting good to go here. Whatever's meant for you shall not pass you by. Felt the need to say that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, what? Aha. Okay. I don't read reversals unless I feel it's what is being inclined for me to do. Really pulling out that Queen energy this month. And you got the Nine of Cups as your overall bottom of the deck. Overall energy kind of feel going right there. So I'm going to take a look at this for a minute and gather. I may not shuffle and do that. That's I'll see as I do readings who wants to have a shuffle and who doesn't. I do shuffle before. But, you know, it's all about being involved in that actual energy and just seeing it whenever you watch it. So whatever floats your boat, let me know with the shuffling. And I don't read signs off unless it's necessary. I mean, there's a reason why I'm on a channel, so hopefully you'll feel that way too. So just so you know, the Devil has been coming up a bit. I think there's been a great deal of shadow aspects of people's lives, personalities, challenges. All of that has been coming up, and has a great deal to do with the overall situation and temperament of the earth right now and what's going on overall, how people are affected by weather right now in all parts of the world. So, and when I speak of weather, I even speak of the climate in which we have been making actions, like the climate that we have decided certain things, violence and unfortunate acts that occur. It seems that as an Aquarius, you're very aware of this, and heavy wears the crown, because you have heavy who wears the crown, right? Heavy wears the crown. Heavy is the one who wears the crown, is what I'm trying to say, because it's a heavy thing that I'm feeling. A lot of responsibility, a lot of weight on the shoulders and the head. So definitely focus on the crown chakra a great deal in your meditations, even just breathing deeply from the tummy out to the third eye. Focusing in on that. So heavy wears the crown. Well, certain shadow aspects have been shown to you, and that came in the past, I don't know, a few days, a few weeks, and I feel as though this isn't bringing up a Capricorn. It's not bringing me anything regarding passion or romance or something. It's something that has to do more with a closed vault on a negative part of your life. Like there's a certain part of your life that's done. So a certain shadow aspect, a certain negative quality perhaps that you've eradicated from your life, from your behavior, something from your personality. It's something that you've locked away and just put away, and it no longer is on the other side of where you are. So you see this door here and the chains there. I feel as though like that's what my eye went to first. I understand the meaning and background of the cards, but it's also how I interpret it and how I see it. So, and what comes to my mind and what comes to my, to my mind's eye. So here it's a door that's been shut closed, and there are two guards here, wounded parts of your past, holding the keys and just locking it up and keeping it on the other side. Whether or not that's a good thing or not, it is something that's been put away, because we have, and this has been for the highest good of yourself and your own personal spiritual development, and that's where the Hierophant comes in. And next to it is the Queen of Cups, which shows me that it's a compassionate type of wisdom. Sometimes people go through experiences and then they suddenly feel that they are now the Pope. They are now the one who can tell you what is right and what is wrong. It is not a degree that you earn from something difficult that you go through. It is something that opens up more parts of you, and then you have more lessons to give others because you have more lessons that you learned. Just like someone goes through an education system. You have a college degree, you have a master's degree, you have a PhD degree, and so forth. If you were to get a certification or whatnot, you can't ask a plumber to go and, you can't ask a surgeon to go and do a plumber's job, and you can't ask a plumber to do a surgeon's job. So I think there's an understanding of certain things that need to be put to the side so that your role and responsibility, and Aquarius make amazing leaders. So some of you might be in the healing field as a clinician, and something that you have resolved and put behind you is helping you monetarily as well. Because next to it we have the Six of Pentacles, which when I look at this, it just immediately made me feel as though you're like, all right, I can do this. Like, I can actually help others. And this was, some of you, it's such a kind heart that you're feeling as though, like, finally I can go and help others. Like, that was your motive is to, like, put food on the table, but you also want to be able to help other people. And so when I was going to, like, when people go through a hard time, sometimes afterwards they try and act like, hey, I know everything, listen to me. Not necessarily true. But in this case, for this reading, I think somebody watching this, or a few of you are actual individuals that have that Hierophant energy, and you have the compassion next to it. The only way you can give a lesson after hardship is if you are a person who carries compassion and control and understanding of, not even control, you understand how to be and receive and be clear about the flow of your energy, so that you're able to instruct and be a leader, be a light that others can gain some wisdom from along their journey, depending where they are. And having the Queen of Cups in this reading, as I look at it, it's somebody who is submerged and weighed heavily by emotions of others, but somehow is able to keep her focus, her resilience, and her esteem. And with that gives her an energetic yield of someone who's a giver, who is able to help those who are more in need. I don't always like this card so much for one reason, because of the way that, beggars have been drawn, and there's kind of this hierarchy here. And I think Aquarius doesn't like that either. It's very unsettling and uncomfortable. Like, I'm not looking at someone as though they're below me. But this is kind of an understanding that, oh, wait a minute, I've been honored with a privilege to be able to do some work so that I can now earn more abundance because I'm more energetically aligned with my calling. And because of that, I can now be of service, but also financially be able to give as well to those who are at rock bottom or hitting their hard limits in their lives, because I have been there. I have dealt with my demons. I have dealt with that. And with that, I've gained wisdom, but I've also gained the compassion and the lovingness and the tenderness and the focus to be able to know how to deliver my skills and utilize my gifts. So with this card, there's a great deal of difference that I see for you, Aquarius. we go into the next card, which is then the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups, as I look at it right now, it's that giving nature, recognition of your kindness and of your giving. I also see that maybe, there's overall, it doesn't look like a very difficult section of the month, as this, or however this phase unravels for you during the moon cycles. So what caught my eye and what I was looking at is when you see the cups below, all the flowers are pointed in different directions. Well, these three are pointed in the same. This one is pointed in a different direction. So if the sunlight shines that way, this one is turned the other way. And it's almost as though it's peeping and looking over and watching over at this interaction here. I think it could be just a child visiting you, coming to see you, and just showing their appreciation. I think some of you who are mothers, I think this might involve like seeing your son. Sometimes certain things come up and I just say them because when I've done readings it usually rings true. So yeah, it does actually most of the time, which is why I'm here. I think it's going to be a very nice interaction. It's very sweet. Maybe some of you have some sort of a celebration, somebody's birthday, but you're in admiration of this son figure, child figure, or daughter figure, but I feel like it's more of a masculine energy, and it's more of a mature woman who's a mother-like relationship. And it's just very endearing and very sweet, and it's the kind of thing you needed to kind of fill your cups. Your cup runneth over, but still, you got to keep them full, you got to keep them overflowing. So, it's good you have that. And like there's one flower turned away and facing that. So the reason why I focused in on this situation, or there being some sort of an interaction with a loved one, I feel like this warmth between two souls, two spirits, kindred spirits, kind, connected, mother, son, child connection, and just a feeling of gratitude and amazement. Like, wow, this is my kid, this is my nephew, this is my, adopted grandson, or I don't know, whatever you want to, whoever you have given that type of regard to. And if it has nothing to do with that, we'll be doing a clarification card and we'll see if there's something further. But there's something to focus on, and you might have your other cups are being taken care of, and this was one cup I think that you were hoping to fill, and it's there, and it's just make sure you watch out for it and you take it all in, So Ace of Pentacles is then the next one, which is great, which shows that your energy flow is going well. And this just tells me that, I think there might be some sort of a celebration of sorts if that's right next to it. And, I think this was just, financial abundance, really. I feel like that's just abundance coming in. You're gaining prosperity from your previous work. Money that's owed to you karmically is coming in. And if it's not yet, it's going to be. Yeah. And you have the Queen of Swords directly under the Queen of Cups, which gave me such a comfort and like a wow, who is this person? Because that's pretty amazing. To be a queen with your thoughts and words, and then to be able to be a queen with your emotions and your feelings as your cup runneth over, and to be able to hold esteem and directness. It doesn't surprise me with Aquarius. Aquarius, you guys have that handle, so it's like you're really in your element. If this doesn't resonate with you, maybe check your rising sign, by the way. And check the romantic reading, because you never know which parts are meant for you to hear. So, getting back to the queens. It seems usually in the situation that you're in, you'd think the person would have their clouds and their head in the clouds, and then you'd think that this person here would just be immersed in emotion given everything else that's happened. But you're not. You're calm, collected. You're the queen. Heavy wears the crown, but you're also a Hierophant here. You've come into that. So, man. And you got the Ace of Pentacles, like, hello, just in case you didn't think you had enough, maybe a little bit more. So I think being that whole combo here, I guess it didn't matter if you waited a little longer for the reading. I was like, I hope that I don't upset any Aquariuses because they're the last one. I always used to be the last one, not last one chosen in PE. That's happened to me a couple times growing up. I will admit, yes, that happened to me. Simply because I was like the brown kid at the time. I think it was just more of, also I don't know why I'm talking about grade school humiliation, but let's not go there. For some reason, that's where I went. For some reason, maybe that's part of the dark part of your life that's over. As an empath, and when you're in tuned with that energy, that's why when you're doing a reading, sometimes you're like, why would I talk about this right now? And there's always a reason as a writer, or whenever you're in that creative space, So, yeah, I want to clarify these cards, but I think some of that darkness and that place that you put behind you is kind of maybe that taunting voice in the back from the past or something, or maybe there was this feeling of just, dealing with ghoulish people, bullying, crap, stupid stuff that's not necessary. And it's so in your past. I mean, you've put it away. It is there, and it is part of the shadow aspect, it seems, for some of you. Shadow aspect meaning there's light, and then there's the dark, and then as you walk, there's a shadow behind you, right? So that carries, you can't always see that, your shadow, right? But when you do face your shadow, then it's a dark place. You get to see other parts of yourself. It's the contrast, So then we have the Page of Pentacles here, and I kind of feel like that's kind of a romantic card this time. It is a financial, another opportunity for a financial growth that I see. And I also see that it could be a person who is younger and just kind of makes an entrance too, perhaps through some sort of interaction business-wise. If you're single, for some reason, that's coming up in the general reading. So maybe it'll taper into the romantic love reading. But Page of Pentacles, I see that maybe you'll be around some vineyards and some greenery. It could also be an announcement of, I'm getting some of you just donating to some nonprofit or donating to some current situations, like some of the fires that have been happening. Some of you are in a position to really help. And I think that there's just a lot of energy of you going out there and helping and being of service, taking the skills you have. So many thanks to you, Aquarius. And you will have Nine of Cups as the overall, theme. And yes, there are more cards under there, but let me go ahead and try and clarify a couple cards here. And I think I want to clarify, let's clarify the Devil, the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. I'm happy with the, alright. Whatever. I don't usually take it unless it makes sense. Yeah. This time of using your vocal authority, using your stage and your platform will probably happen more after this next moon, this new moon. And you will have a time of more illumination and you like starting anew, so this is another time for you to do another coming into the new, and that could be what this page is acknowledging, is that energetic movement into a new chapter of you, a new part of you, a new energy source, another part. You know, that's what a new moon does. It regenerates it's like a new shift, a new change. You have a time, every time you wake, you're restarting your whole entire system. You're starting your whole entire life. So it's never not that time, but during a new moon, there's that general energy of starting over, a new beginning. And with that comes new opportunity and something related to youth, so maybe regarding business or work. It's just being more connected with a younger, not that you're old, maybe you're young and you need to work with toddlers, I don't know. But I think that it's really just saying that getting more connected to another age group that is younger than you and having that ability to start a new chapter that brings in abundance and prosperity somehow. Just an abundant one is what you are. A very abundant one. I have slippery hands today. I don't usually take the ones that slide out or fall out unless it really calls to me and it really makes sense to. So some people take those as, and that's how everybody has it differently, how they attune and how they read. So you take it into account, but and the devil comes up again. I was looking at the Queen of Cups when I pulled this, so adjustment should go right there. The devil came up again. Could be a Capricorn energy of somebody that you have just said enough is enough, you're out of here, not dealing with this. I think that maybe it also is that you've happily tucked away some things that were bothering you. And that's because you had a greater responsibility to put through, and you're going to be okay. Just remember to go back and do that work if you need to, and you always do. So I guess it's just another, there might be some passion too. I'm seeing passion for some of you. If you're male, definitely some passion coming your way. Feeling a sense of passion for almost kind of, love struck and passionately into someone. That's what I'm getting for some of you. Maybe that's why that needed to come out again, or maybe it was someone that you had an intensely passionate relationship with, and that's just something you've put away now because it's not necessary, it's not healthy. And you're fine with it, you're okay. The other person may not like it, but that's their problem. It's not for you to worry about. Whatever's in the past is in the past. So you had some hard stuff that some of you have had to, but this is in the past, so it's kind of good. I'm glad it came then, and then in the first time I did your reading, it was at least like that, so that's good. can clarify further for the devil. Okay. So through that difficult experience, you've been able to bring work into that. You've been able to work that into your, and I think that's why the Hierophant is there. Perhaps through some difficulty, you've been able to gain, like I said, hardship. You have then some things that come up that give you the ability, and you have the compassion, and you're making that adjustment into that person who, there is hierarchy in this world, and you are at a certain level now. So the card for confirming or giving more information for the Hierophant and the Queen of Cups, I hadn't asked for that, but as I was flipping the cards, I was looking at the Queen of Cups, and then this card came up, and it just, that's how a reading goes. So I really enjoy sacred geometry because it can open up different parts of the mind. If you look at how cells form and how flowers form, how everything forms, there's sacred geometry in all of it. So if you're in the formation of your identity, of yourself, sometimes when you're doing your meditations or when you're focused on something and you just keep staring at the shapes, it can open up parts of you just like a cell would keep multiplying and produce a being, a thing, a living. So getting the adjustment card, the Eight of Swords. Well, it's a trumps card, really. She's holding a sword. And in the Thoth deck, there are slightly different interpretations, but they're both one of the oldest forms of divination for tarot. And this coming up shows me that there will be an adjustment of knowing how to wield your newfound power and platform. And looking at the shapes, looking at circles and the formations of circles and how sharp figures immerse and grow from that. For the devil here, we got the devil twice, so we got 3 of discs, 3 of pentacles, and I feel as though this is kind of foretelling of you've taken these sharp edges of your life and they've grown into these round spectrums of light that are making waves into the electric magnetic field of this universe, of this earth. You are putting out different rays of light, and you're making riptides with this unfortunate negativity that was from the past that is so imprinted. It's done, it's put away. It's just that you have taken that, you're coming out of that into a more wise type of leader role or position. Have it be in your family, have it be with your kids, have it be within your community, whatever it may be. And there's a sense of adjustment of, what are you doing? Like, that's the feeling I'm getting, like, you don't need to do all that for me, but accept it, because that's how you balance the scales. That's how you keep the momentum going. You must receive, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So, Princess of Discs came up for clarifying even more so the devil. And so as I went into work, I got works, and then I got Princess of Discs, and I'm like, well, it's a woman here that is emerging onto her role, or a man who is emerging onto his role and coming out from the wilderness and in complete completion, and a sense of wisdom and conviction of knowing, really in your element, really coming into you and being courageous to step into this role. So it all leads into that coming in, okay? And to clarify, let's see if we can just clarify these Six of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to ask for a little bit more clarification there. You pick one card and then you start seeing more, and then you're like, well, can't leave you hanging. I gotta tell you what else I see now. Alright. Alright. Okay. So this person returning has come back, and I think this individual, this son figure or this child figure that's coming back was somebody you were very worried about and very concerned about, and it caused a great deal of interference and breakup in the family, and this person is just returning, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful moment that fills you with joy. You're filled with happiness and pleasure to see this person again, and it's the Ace of Cups. It's an overflowing of emotion. It's a reunion. It's a coming together. So you can't see that. I'm just holding. I just realized now. Okay, so it's a very beautiful reunion of sorts that's going to bring light and beauty and recognition to that situation where you felt as though, you know, you were very worried about this person, and you were very like, what happened to them was really unfortunate and difficult, and them coming back is just, it's just giving us more information, I guess, about why this is such a beautiful moment. And when your cup runneth over for you, Aquarius, I feel like when you have cups and you have pentacles, it works for you, because that's what feeds your energy too. And when your energy and you're aligned with your intention, this is with anyone. However, Aquarius tends to have this kind of ability to really be able to keep those in balance. And what happens then is that when you have these moments where joy and love and compassion and reunion and just this feeling of all the worry and the interference that this person leaving caused is now going to be replaced with the pleasure of being able to see them again. And then the Ace of Cups, where it illuminates this whole new, like, just overflowing. I'm just feeling like so happy and just so like radiating with love, and just a big family dinner and just enjoying things over a meal, and really just that good stuff that life's about, you know, sharing that moment with your loved one, and cutting some bread and eating some soup or whatever, and just enjoying a nice time with people you love. And this is someone that you're really happy to be able to see again. So I'm very happy for you. I think that's a beautiful thing. You're coming out of some, you know, and others that are around you went through some difficult things, and you're emerging out of it into a place of just like, I just see a really beautiful family dinner, however you see your family, you know. And this is someone returning for sure. So yeah, in this next moon cycle, you know, there will be, I feel, more of this newness that is coming in, lots of emerging into new that's happening. And let's see where we are with time. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right there. If you want to know more, we can definitely do a personal reading, and the information will be there below. If it didn't resonate with you, please check the rising sign and check the romantic love reading as well. And I want to pick a couple cards from the Wisdom Oracle deck. And I initially, before the reading, when I did a meditation around Aquarius in order to save time as well, I picked a card from the Osho Zen Tarot just to have as a closing card reading. So the Crystal Oracle deck just helps me to kind of go into more with some of you, whatever chakras probably need more attention, what part of your body might be affecting because it's all mind, body, and soul. So I want to try and provide just a nice see what connects with you type of tool, give you the type of tools that are needed to focus in on those chakras that are inside you so that you can continue on your vibrational amazingness journey that you have this month, Aquarius. Always have to take care of your body as well and your mind. It's the only way that your soul can do its work. Mind, body, and soul. Let your spirit guide your way. That's what I always say. So we have the rose quartz, aquamarine, and Kumbaba Jasper. And I like the bottom right here. We have rainbow Mayanite, yes. So we're dealing with the throat chakra. This is the heart. So you're dealing with the heart, and here we have also the heart, but more of where the thymus gland is. So it's kind of some things that you've been wanting to say more so from the heart, and it's been kind of that energy of wanting to let things flow out of your heart out into your vocal cords so that you can say what it is that you want to say. I guess during this family dinner, or this reunion, or this time of coming together, or this newfound place, you want to be able to take what's inside your heart. And you might want to, the reason why crystals are helpful, it's not that you have to go out and buy them, just looking at them or going into that energy that mineral, that crystal has, you have that inside of you, so it taps into that. It's all interconnected. So even looking at the geometry of if you were to crack open these crystals and looking at the sacred shapes, it's all so connected. I mean, when you look at the stuff at some point, if you ever research it, it's absolutely amazing. So rose quartz, usually people say use that around love and heart. So I don't know what your romantic reading will be, but yeah, rose quartz is usually the stone that goes around that, but it also is circulation and dealing with the thyroid and dealing with if you're a woman, making sure your thyroid and everything's checked properly. Make sure you've done your blood work and that you can get everything checked out. Don't just worry about your dog's blood work or your cat's blood work. Get your blood work done too. So like getting your physical exam, okay? So we have 16, we have aquamarine. I know things come out randomly like that, but maybe you needed to hear it. There's some of you that have not gotten your physical. And Kumbaba Jasper. Heart. You guys got a big heart anyway. I want to go ahead and read the aquamarine just to get a better idea. Yeah, so we're going deeper into the heart here. And then the rainbow Mayanite was the other one I looked at, and I said I just got to pull that one out as well. See, this part here is more to do with, we're going into kind of this above the crown, kind of another, they call it like a casual vortex or another ray of light. Basically, if you know someone's aura or your energy field, it's radiating. And so as attuned, as connected as you get, in your own spiritual growth, however you want to call it, your personal growth, your goal, your growth as a human being with your soul, you become more aligned with the different energy fields that surround you. You are energy. You're walking light and energy. You're all of that. So there is this part that I think it's for you, it has to do more with just this glaze of focusing in on, well, let's go ahead and read this one. How about we read that one? 22 Mayanite. I think what I'm looking at it, I love this crystal, this stone, because of the colors that it's saying to me, like what the colors say to me. And that's only because when you've analyzed and understand these things a little bit more, if you look at it right now, it might resonate with you, just the colors. Because it really gives me a feeling of your overall month, actually. It makes me feel like it's this warm, ethereal, enlightening, beautiful, highlighted life point in your, in your journey. So I feel like what this does is it just helps you to focus and tap into that part of your own inner network, your body network, your health network, your spiritual network. When we go past the crown, we're going more into the energy around us that surrounds us. So perhaps, you want to keep a certain type of energy around you. You want to keep the rainbow shining around you. And that's a beautiful thing. So focusing in on that. So let's just go ahead and look at that 22. Oh, wrong book. Iridescent rainbow Mayanite bridges this world and the rest of creation. It heals unconditionally and assists the shift to a new level of consciousness. Haha. This card is just like really sticking out to me. Big time. Here's the other queen. Let me get the other queen. Where's the other queen? Look at this. You are a leader. When you raise your vibrations, the whole benefits. De-energize old patterns, release karmic incrustations and toxic dross from your etheric body. Looks like you've been doing that, because that's in the past. Go within to find your rainbow treasure house. Raise your consciousness to build new supportive structures at every level. The divination for this crystal. Recognize how your soul is maneuvering you into your true pathway. Apparently detrimental situations offer soul gifts. Works every time, guys. Re-examine projects and let go of those that are not for your highest good or that of others. You see things from both sides. Always speak true no matter what the cost. Be tactful. And you are. You have natural healing ability. Focus it wisely. Healing insight. Letting go attunes you to a realm of infinite possibilities. The frequency that's emerging from that crystal, that energy, is very high. Your soul star and stellar gateway chakra, it recalibrates all to optimum functioning when you focus in on this energy, when you focus in on what this crystal emanates, what it's exemplifying here, which is usually what ends up happening. It's about the majority of the reading and the soul path that you're on. So being a rainbow bridge between worlds is your soul path. And the timing, it's one of yours. It's Aquarius. It's one of your crystals. So perfectly for you. And that seems like that's kind of the theme of this month. I kind of want to close there, but I did promise a Osho Zen reading. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the card that I pulled out during my meditation, and then after that the card that I pulled, and that was totality. And we have similar colors, which is pretty awesome. Okay, and it's basically well, let's just read it. I haven't read it yet, so we'll see. It's a new deck for me, and I've been discovering it in these new readings with you, so I'm excited to use them in future readings. So these three women are high in the air, playful and free, yet alert and interdependent. In a trapeze act, nobody can afford to be a little bit absent, even for a split second. And it is this quality of total attentiveness to the moment at hand that is represented here. We may feel there are too many things to do at once, but get bogged down in trying to do a bit here, a bit there, instead of taking one risk at a time and getting on with it. Or perhaps we think our task is boring, because we've forgotten that it's not that you do, but how you do it that matters. Developing the knack of being total and responding to whatever comes as it comes is one of the highest gifts you can give yourself. Taking one step through life at a time, giving each step your complete attention and energy, can bring a wondrous new vitality and creativity to all that you do. Every moment there is a possibility to be total. Whatsoever you are doing, be absorbed in it so utterly that the mind thinks nothing is just there, is just a presence. And more totality will be coming, and the taste of totality will make you more and more capable of being total. And try and see when you are not total. Check in with your body, basically. Those are the moments which have to be dropped slowly, very slowly. When you are not total, whenever you are in the head thinking, brooding, calculating, cunning, clever, you are not total. Slowly slip out of these moments. It is just an old habit. Habits die hard, but they die certainly. If one persists, they die. So, having pulled this early on, getting the El Diablo twice, the totality, this is done. It's done. That part is over, and that has given you such a wisdom and strength and ability. It turned the currents and the tides of your life, and you took that as momentum, and you are in your role right now. And the colors that illuminate from you are absolutely brilliant, Aquarius. Thank you so much. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this reading, please hit like and subscribe, and be good to you, be kind to you, so you can be kind to others. Take care now. And if you want to get a private reading, the information will be in the description box below. Take care now. Bye.